What up, guys? Gangstapranksta here, bringing you the weekly wrestling review for May 26th. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, this is where we talk everything about professional wrestling, from news, reviews, to predictions. We talk about it all. So if you're a fan of professional wrestling, welcome to the show. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We got reviews for Over The Limit, RAW, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, and a lot of wrestling news. There's some really interesting wrestling news and really important wrestling news. So I recommend sticking around to the end. So, yeah, just going to throw that out there real quick. But first off, we have Over The Limit to review. Over The Limit was a good show. I enjoyed most of it. The matches that I thought were going to be good were good. And, yeah, so let's talk about it real quick. First off, we have a Battle Royale. People's Choice Battle Royale. Winner gets an Intercontinental or U.S. title match. This was a good match. Christian wins and chooses a U.S. title match, but later on he changes his mind to Intercontinental. But good match. Christian wins. Next we got Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler versus R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. Tag team title match. Good match. Truth and Kofi win. Next we got Layla versus Beth Phoenix, Divas title match, pretty good match, Layla wins. Next we got Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus versus Chris Jericho, world title match, 4-way, really good match, Sheamus wins. Next we got Brodus Clay versus Miz, pretty good match, Brodus wins. Next we got Christian versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title, pretty good match, Christian wins and is the new IC champion. I don't know how I feel about this because I like Cody as champion, but I also like Christian. I don't know. In my opinion, I would have preferred Cody to keep the Intercontinental title, and then maybe they can feud over it. But I don't know. I think Cody should have cheated here or something to retain his title. So next we got Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk WWE title match. This was probably the match of the night. This was a really good match. CM Punk wins. I definitely recommend everyone watch this match. If there's one match you gotta watch on this pay-per-view, it is CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. It was really good. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it. Next we got Ryback versus Camacho. This was just a blah match. Ryback wins. And the main event, John Cena versus John Laurinaitis. It was pretty good. It went way too long. I thought this should have went about 7-8 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. This almost went 20 minutes. I was like, holy shit. But pretty good match. Laurinaitis wins. So near the end of the match, Laurinaitis escaped into the crowd, but Big Show grabbed him and brought him to the ring, only to turn on John Cena and help Laurinaitis. So Big Show's a heel now. We'll talk more about that on Raw in a second. But overall, a good show. I definitely recommend the WWE the two title matches, the World title match and the WWE title match. Definitely some good matches. Go check those out. But actually, go check out the whole pay-per-view. It was a good show. it was. But those are the two matches that are like really good. And the tag team title match, that was good as well. So yeah, that was Over The Limit. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Solid show by WWE. Next we got Raw. So it starts out with John Cena. You know, he comes out, talks about his losing to Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis comes out and says he's sore from their match, and if anyone touches him, they're fired. Big Show comes out and says no one felt bad for him for what happened when he got fired. David Otunga comes out and challenges Cena to a match. So it's John Cena versus David Otunga. Blah match. Cena wins. After the match, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, Kurt Hawkins, and Tyler Rex attack Cena, and Sheamus makes the save. I kind of like the fact that Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex are kind of getting involved with the John Laurinaitis People Power thing. You know, at the pay-per-view, they were in a backstage segment where Eve sent them out to confiscate signs that were negative towards John Laurinaitis. So, you know, they went and did that, and that was pretty good. And now they're doing this. So that's pretty good that they're starting to showcase Hawkins and Ryder. Or not Hawkins and Ryder, Hawkins and Tyler Rex. So hopefully we can see a lot more of these guys. Second match, we got Alberto Del Rio versus Randy Orton. Pretty good match. Orton wins by DQ after Chris Jericho comes out and gives Orton 3 code breakers. Next we got Daniel Bryan comes out and says he should be WWE champion. So I forgot to mention, but like at the end of the CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan match, you know, the Punk put him in a Bryan put Punk in a submission, and then Punk rolled over on the pin, and then after the ref counted 1, 2, 3, Punk tapped. So they kind of went for a screwy finish, but Punk clearly tapped after the 3 count, so it was like not really important. Anyway, CM Punk comes out, tells Bryan he's facing Kane right now. So we got Kane versus Daniel Bryan. Okay match. Daniel wins by DQ after Kane takes out Daniel Bryan like he did to Punk last week. Next we got Jinder Mahal versus Christian. Pretty good match. Christian wins. Next, Kelly versus Beth Phoenix. Okay match. Beth wins. And last but not least, we have John Cena and Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and Tenzai in a lumberjack match. They're actually shortening down Lord Tenzai's name to just Tenzai, which is whatever to me. So this was a good match. No one wins. The lumberjacks get involved, and then more people come out. A huge brawl erupts, and Cena goes backstage to look for Big Show and ends up getting knocked out. So it was an okay Raw. Next we got TNA Impact. Very short show. Starts out with Gail Kim and Madison Rayne versus Eric Young and ODB. Okay match. Gail and Madison win. Next we have RVD versus Gunner. Okay match. RVD wins. I wish this went a little bit longer. This only went like 3 minutes. Definitely think this should have went at least 7. But you know, they had a lot of backstage segments, so there was a lot of shorter matches, so whatever. Next we got Devon versus Garrett Bischoff, TV title match. Okay match. No one wins after Robbie E and Rob Terry come out and attack Devon and Garrett. We got an in-ring segment with Bully Ray. Comes out and calls out Joseph Park. Joseph comes out, you know, they go back and forth. It ends up with Bully attacking Joseph, and I think he whipped him with the chain. I believe so. Anyways, next we got Austin Aries versus Joey Ryan. This was a gut check challenge match. Good to see Joey Ryan. He's a solid independent wrestler. Predominantly works at PWG, which is an independent company. So yeah, he did pretty good. It was a pretty good match. Aries wins. I think Joey Ryan was definitely. I think he should go to TNA. I mean, he would be a solid heel for the X division, and that's what the X division is lacking right now. There's not really much of an X division because there's no heel. There's no bad guy that can chase Austin Aries. You know, Austin Aries was that bad guy, but now he's a good guy, and now there's no one that is good enough. Maybe Robbie E if they were to throw him back in the X division, but he's part of the TV title division right now, so that's whatever. But I think Joey Ryan would be a solid heel in the X division. Definitely bring him in. Last but not least, we have AJ Styles and Robert Roode world title match. Good match. Roode wins. After the match, Roode celebrates about being the longest world champion. Hogan comes out and says he respects Roode, but there's someone else that wants to celebrate with him. Lights go out. Sting appears. Sting attacks Roode. Hogan makes a match next week between Roode and Sting. Next week is their first live Impact, so we'll have reviews for that later on, or next week. I'll talk about that later, whatever. Next we got SmackDown. It starts out with Eve. She comes out and says, you know, she's in charge for tonight, and she's going to deal with Sheamus tonight. We have Alberto Del Rio, Randy Orton, Kane come out. They all want to face Sheamus for the title. Eve makes a 3-way for the main event. First match, we got Christian versus Unico. Pretty good match. Christian wins. After the match, Cody Rhodes comes out and, you know, talks a bunch of shit to Christian. Next, we got the Usos versus Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. Pretty good match. Titus and Darren win. Next, we got Brian Edwards and Kevin Bendel versus Ryback. Blah match. Ryback wins. He had a wicked black eye. I don't know where he got it from, but his eye was bloodshot. Huge black. Oh, it was pretty gross. Next, we got Santino Marella versus Ricardo Rodriguez. This was a blah match. Santino wins. Next, we got Sheamus comes out and talks about John Laurinaitis being an ass. Vicky Guerrero comes out and says Sheamus will face Jack Swagger. So Jack Swagger versus Sheamus. Good match. Sheamus wins. Next, we got Damien Sandow versus Yoshitatsu. Blah match. Sandow wins. One thing I gotta say, I think his finisher is gonna be a neck breaker. And that is lame as shit, dude. There's two things that I think should never... That can't be a finisher anymore. You know, it's not the 1960s or 70s. A DDT and a neck breaker. Those can't be your finishers. That's not believable. It's stupid. So come up... I don't know if that's his finisher for sure, but he used like a cross... Like a cross neck breaker. I don't know how to explain it, but it looked lame. So yeah. Next we got Big Show comes out and he's talking about stuff. I was pretty bored with this. I don't even remember what he's talking about because I was so bored. So yeah. And last but not least, Kane versus Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio. Good match. Del Rio wins. So it's going to be Del Rio versus Sheamus at No Way Out. Next we got Ring of Honor TV. First match, Eddie Edwards versus Mike Bennett. Good match. Eddie Edwards wins. Next we got Grizzly Redwood versus Kamel Dickinson. Match never happens. Truth Martini comes out and challenges them to a handicap match. Them to team up against Michael Elgin. It was going pretty good. So they were having the handicap match. And then Michael Elgin takes out Kamel Dickinson. And then Jay Lethal comes out to be Grizzly Redwood's partner. So then it was Grizzly and Lethal versus Elgin. It was going pretty good until Roderick Strong got involved and got Elgin disqualified. It seemed like Elgin and Roderick were going to fight, but Truth Martini put a stop to that. Definitely looks like that's what it's leading to. Roderick Strong versus Michael Elgin. You know, finally they're going to just have enough of each other and just have a feud. So I expect Elgin to be a future TV champion. And last match, we got All Night Express versus the Young Bucks elimination match. Good match. All Night Express win. Next, we got a lot of wrestling news. Not a lot. We got 3 things, but very interesting things to talk about. So first off, we got WWE 13 gameplay has been leaked, showing Mark Henry and Big Show collapsing a ring. A few days later, official trailer was released with CM Punk talking about a revolution. And, you know, it's long been rumored that the game was supposed to focus on the Attitude Era. It's now been confirmed. They're going to have, like, a ton of Attitude Era stars. It's going to be... It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good so far. There's only 2 things that I want from this game. That's a GM mode and an online that works. That's it. I don't think that's hard, you know, a lot to ask for. So, leave in the comments, what do you want from WWE 13? Whether it be, you know, an online that works, GM mode, specific people on the roster, you know, people from the Attitude Era. I'm not too picky about that shit because, you know, I can always go on community creations and get whoever I want, so that's whatever. So, what do you guys want WWE 13? Leave it in the comments. I want to know. So, yeah. Next, we got Chris Jericho has been suspended from WWE. The reason for this was during a house show in Brazil, a fan threw a Brazilian flag in the ring between CM Punk and Jericho. You know, Punk picked up the flag and waved it around and stuff, you know, being a good baby face. And then Jericho grabbed it and he threw it on the floor and kicked it. And cops immediately stopped the match because apparently in Brazil this is a crime. So, you know, they stopped the match and they threatened to throw Jericho in jail unless he apologizes. He ended up apologizing, but WWE still suspended him. He was supposed to be suspended indefinitely, but it later turned out to 30 days. Lots of rumors have been going around that Jericho will be leaving WWE soon, and he even said to himself he's leaving soon, so maybe he's just never going to come back from his suspension. But man, I think this is pretty stupid. I know it's a law and stuff, but it's pro wrestling, man. It's World wrestling entertainment. You know, this is what they do. It's entertaining. Jericho is a heel, so he's going to do everything he needs to do to get the crowd to boo him. And if that's to throw the Brazilian flag on the ground and stomp it out and kick it to the ground, whatever. You know, I've seen worse. I swear I've seen someone take a U.S. flag and, like, wipe their ass with it and nothing happened, but whatever. This is no biggie. There's been a lot of people from, like, the wrestling world that have commented on this. Like, it's just a pro wrestler being a pro wrestler. But at the same time, I see it, WWE doesn't want to ruin their market in Brazil. And so they had to make an example out of Chris Jericho, and that's what it was. So that's pretty sad to see, but it's all in all, it's entertainment, so it's whatever. Last but not least, the biggest news this week, we have Ric Flair and Alex Shelley have quit TNA. Yes, Alex Shelley and Ric Flair. In Flair's case, he hasn't been showing up to TNA house shows. According to a source within TNA, a major issue which led to tension between Ric Flair and TNA, it could potentially be one reason why Flair left the company, was the handling of the Gut Check segment on Impact featuring Alex Silva. WrestleZone.com has learned that Flair went off script when he chose Silva as the winner, which is now causing issues for TNA, as not only did Flair go into business for himself, but Silva is from Quebec, requiring TNA to spend more time and money getting him a U.S. visa if they want to use him with any amount of regularity. So that's funny. Ric Flair trolled TNA. So I guess Alex Silva wasn't supposed to win, but because Ric Flair said, I choose him. I allow him. I give him a positive rating or whatever. So TNA had to sign him. I don't think they had any intentions in signing Alex Silva. So that's fucking hilarious. Now they have to use him because Flair fucked up. Well, he didn't fuck up. He did it on purpose. That's fucking hilarious. High five to Ric Flair. For Alex Shelley, no reason was given, but I can only assume as, TNA has never been consistent with Alex Shelley. It always felt like stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. And what I mean by that is, it made it seem like the Motor City Machine Guns, when they came back a month ago, they're going to get a huge push. They're going to go into the tag team division, feud with Samoa Joe and Magnus, get the tag team title back, and put TNA's tag team division where it needs to be, back on top. They didn't do that. They had one match with Joe and Magnus, and you never saw the Motor City Machine Guns again, So it's like, it's got to be pretty frustrating to, the crowds always has to have a positive reaction for Alex Shelley. They like Alex Shelley. They like the Motor City Machine Guns, but TNA just doesn't use them for some reason. I don't fucking know why, but whatever. So both Shelley and Flair are rumored to be going to WWE. It's assumed that Flair will do stuff for the WWE Network, and for Shelley, it's been rumored that WWE wants to do stuff with the Cruiserweights. So this is definitely a great pickup for them. Alex Shelley is a great wrestler. So that sucks for TNA, losing two. Well, Ric Flair, I don't mind seeing go, but Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, no more Motor City Machine Guns unless Chris Sabin's going too, which would be awesome to see the Motor City Machine Guns in WWE. That'd be tight. But I can only dream, So, yeah, huge news. So, hope you guys enjoyed the weekly wrestling review. That's it for the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Come back next week where we got reviews for Raw, Smackdown, Impact, and Ring of Honor, and some more wrestling news. I'm recording this late, so I've seen some of the wrestling news that's already come out. It's going to be a huge wrestling news week next week as well, so make sure you come back next week. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Anyways, guys, that's it for the weekly wrestling review. Come back next week. And, yeah, that's it, guys. Peace out.